The world loves being on the water for sports, for leisure, and for supporting the world's economy. Critical for protecting our nation's ports and for fueling our passions, let's see how one company is meeting the demands of the boating industry. Let's go with Intrepid Powerboats, on the water. On this week's show, we're taking you to the Miami International Boat Show. The show returns to its new island home, Miami Marine Stadium Park and Basin, located across the bay from downtown Miami. This area of Virginia Key is easy to get to by land or sea. This is a wonderful new dynamic site for in-water and on-land exhibits with more than 1,300 boats and 550 plus slips.
It's a beautiful venue. Boats are where they belong, on the water. Just look around, you got a beautiful skyline. The weather, couldn't ask for better weather. It's 68, 70 degrees right now with a light breeze. It's just absolutely phenomenal weather. And I think everybody is accepting it and excited about it, and you're seeing the crowds growing.
Beautiful sunny skies come out for the opening of the show, and potential buyers show interest in every model on display.
You know, we've gone, but we go by years past. Again, this being a new venue, didn't really know what to expect as far as total sales, but we're expecting the best. We've always had very successful Miami and Fort Lauderdale boat shows, and I don't expect this to be any different.
What's nice about this location is I'm able to get every single model here because the footprint is much bigger. Plus, you know, the boats are in the water where they belong. They're not in the convention center sitting up on cradles. This is where they're supposed to be, and they really show really well here. The other thing that's really nice about being here at the Marine Stadium and being on the water is we have the ability to sea trial right next door to us, which is great. We've got Mark Henderson here with the Liquid Fire 375 center console, and he's out there running people, and it's one thing to tell people about how well an Intrepid runs, and it's another thing to actually take them out on the boat and run them on it, and that's what Mark's doing for us. It's been great.
Hold the boat. Get the back. Hold the boat.
We are also joining Intrepid's Hooked on Old School Fishing Team and Angler Armory for the first annual Fish Kids Fishing Seminar and Tournament sponsored by the City of Madeira Beach. This is a fun-filled day of education with prizes given to the top anglers of the day.
Yeah, taking a kid fishing and seeing their reaction the first time that they get to grab the rod and bring that fish in, and it's just it's a feeling like there's no other. We had a kid today that caught his very first fish during our fishing tournament, and he was so excited that he dropped the rod, and luckily one of our staff members was there to grab the line to save all the gear and everything else. It was just a cool thing to watch. It's fun to watch the reactions on their face. Just a memory that they'll never forget.
One other?
This is a toadfish, a dogfish.
It's poisonous.
Well, what's the number on it? Yours, buddy, number 37?
Parents taking their kids fishing is a great bonding time. That's what it's all about. I've fished for years and years and years with my dad almost every single weekend, and the bond that my father and I share is undeniable. That's as a matter, he's the one that really inspired me to get this thing going, because without a parent taking me fishing and teaching me everything that I know, I wouldn't be able to do this for other kids.
54. That's a what?
A grass grunt. A grass grunt.
The U.S. Coast Guard Sector Clearwater Division treated the kids to a sea air rescue demonstration.
Yeah, our whole team is here. This event didn't go on without them. We've partnered with Angler Armory, and between the two organizations, Hooked on Old School Fishing Team and Angler Armory, this event has just really been wonderful today, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
This show is being brought to you by Ashland, proud manufacturer of AME premium resins and MaxGuard premium gel coats for the world's best boat builders. 7 Marine, the most powerful outboards on the planet. Electronics Unlimited, world innovators in marine electronics. Vetus Maxwell, creator of boat systems. Setup of an in-water display of boats starts several days in advance. Intrepid's captains maneuver these boats up to 47 feet in length into position, proving just how easy these boats are to handle in tight spaces.
Moving was a challenge, I think, for everyone who moved in on Saturday. We had 3 different move-in times. We had an 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and a 2 p.m. And it seemed to rain for most of the morning. The 2 p.m. move-in wasn't too bad, but the 8 and 9 a.m. was challenging. You know, it was raining. It was something different. They always ask you to try and get the boats in the tightest locations, and this one was challenging in a way where we had never done it before. And the ramp that connects us to the main bar was removed, and they asked us to squeeze those 4 boats in between our barge and our tent and the main dock there, which was probably about 11.5 feet, and our 41 is an 11.1 beam, so we had about 5 inches to play with to get that boat through there. But we got them all in, didn't put a scratch on any of them, and it was a success. Show management was also a challenge, getting the 47 Panacea in a really tight hole in that corner where it's located. But again, we got all 20 boats in without a scratch, and I was very pleased to hear that.
Intrepid-sponsored Team Old School is having an outstanding Kingfish tournament season. This great group of guys is determined to pass on their love of the sport to today's youth and have worked hard to put together a talented group of fishing experts to share advice and demonstrate their skills.
Aside from all the seriousness of tournaments and the seriousness of the events that we do, we all like to have fun. That's the whole point of this. It's the whole point of getting everybody together and just having a good time.
Up to 150 kids are participating in a seawall fishing tournament where the entry fee is an unwrapped toy for a less fortunate child for the holidays and a non-perishable food item that will go to a local food bank for the homeless. Anglers are some of the best people in the world, and these anglers are giving back to their community. Welcome back to Intrepid Powerboats on the water. The seawall of Madera Beach Rec Center was lined with anxious kids and their parents for some reeling in their first fish ever. It's hard to tell who's more excited, the kids or the parents. There were some pretty nice fish caught.
But I don't know when a fish is going to come.
He's gonna come. You just have to be ready any second. That's the best part of fishing. You just never know. You never know.
What do you think? You think you've won?
Mine.
Told you Dad would have to
There you go.
Look at the camera.
If you'll nibble, just leave it there for a minute.
Good job for you. Look at the camera. Say hi.
Say, Mama, I caught the biggest fish.
All right, ready to put them back in the water now?
Whoa, that would be a good shot. If you can see your bait, all right. You drop it lower.
Good.
Good
Nice,
job,
release.
yeah.
That's the biggest catch so far.
What's the number first?
Awesome, sweetie.
Give me your line. Give me your line. I don't know. Come this way. Let's see it. Come on, be careful. Stand next to it, Olivia. Ready?
This young lady who reeled in a small stingray will definitely be hooked on the sport forever. We're back at the Miami Boat Show where lots of new products are being debuted.
Well, the 350 we introduced last year, and it's really done good things for Mercury. It got us back with Intrepid with a powerful motor. We come in two different colors, the cool white and the warm white, which the warm white's a little bit off-white.
Sure.
The 400 is a racing motor, and to get that performance, you really got to get the motor a little bit higher. Not going to get the comfort ride out of what you're going to do on the 350s.
Sure.
Another thing we did for 2016 was we came out with an 8-year extended warranty that you can put on the 350s as well as all the recreational motors.
Wow, 8 years?
8 years.
That's-
So it's our 12th year with Verados.
Yeah.
So we're pretty solid, we're pretty sound with what you're going to get on it.
Well, if you're doing 8 years, you're pretty confident with your product.
The 400 comes with a 2-year warranty and you can add 3 years to
Cool.
it because it is truly a racing motor.
Sure. Did you guys do something new with joystick as well?
We came out with a new joystick.
Cool. You want to go check it
Yeah,
out?
show you what we did. New joystick, you can see, has colors on it, kind of like a disco ball look to it.
That's cool.
So now that the customer can actually see what he's doing with the joystick, before he'd say, well, I don't know if it's engaged, I don't know if it's turned on.
Right.
This way a color's going to pop out and show that it's on.
That's nice.
One hint we took from you guys where you're trying to keep your dashboards clean.
Sure.
We incorporated that trackpad that you used to have to use
Nice.
into the new joystick.
That's great.
So it keeps it clean.
That's really awesome. That really cleans it up. What else did you guys do?
We came out with a vessel link, which means you don't have to use the vessel view. Again, trying to keep your dashboard clean.
Right.
So the vessel link you would hide underneath. You don't have to use the vessel view anymore. And you can just use the 24-inch screens on it, bring all the information into the 24-inch screens.
That's cool.
This show has been brought to you by LANGER-KRELL, Florida's longest-running marine electronics dealer for over 45 years. BENNETT, defining excellence since 1948. Mercury, go boldly. BENNETT Marine, the world leader in trim tab innovation, quality, and service. Innovation is certainly on display here. This Panacea 475 is going to be a tender for a large mega yacht and is fitted with a cradle for housing the owner's jet ski and a crane for deploying it. This boat definitely represents Intrepid's motto of one of a kind, one at a time.
When Mark Beaver first came up to me and said we're going to do a Panacea with a wave runner in the middle of it, I was like, okay. But then I was thinking, why? And he explained to me that the owner is going to tow his Panacea behind his ship, and then he goes out surfing these big ocean waves that run for miles. I knew that was a project we had to do. I just wanted the owner to be so impressed. To be able to put a wave runner that does mid-60s inside your tender is an incredible idea. So we got the engineering staff involved and came up with this crane to lift the boat out of the water.
I can't imagine being able to jump on a 10-foot wave behind a wave runner and surf it for miles. That's just incredible.
That's just the coolest idea ever.
A little envious.
Absolutely. Life is good.
Life is good.
He's going to have this as his tender. So when they get word that there's a big wave somewhere, they can get in their Intrepid and get there as fast as possible. Nothing like having a mid-60s tender with a jet ski on board. We wanted to inspect the davit today and make sure that it was working properly. You know, nothing beats actual simulation out in the water. He's going to be in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or any ocean where he's surfing these waves. And we had to make sure it was going to be stable and it would work properly.
One of the functions that we were also testing today with this crane arm is when you're taking a 1,000-pound jet ski and hanging it off the side of the boat, we want to check ballast. We want to see how far the boat is going to lean over. So when we came over and we hooked the crane to the jet ski and started to swing it, once the jet ski gets over the gunnel, you can start to feel a little bit of the weight shift over. And the boat leans ever so slightly when we lowered it down into the water. But with the wide beam of the 475 Panacea, the buoyancy of this boat, the boat really never leaned too drastically. And then even when you retracted the weight and actually grabbed the weight out of the water, again, very safely you feel with the leaning of the boat just ever so slightly enough to bring that 1,000 pounds up off the side of the boat and swing it back into the deck.
We're back in Madeira Beach with the Fish Kids event. The kids tournament has just wrapped up and the prizes have been awarded. The kids and their parents move back to the seawall where they get to observe 2 sea air rescue demonstrations by the U.S. Coast Guard Sector Clearwater Division. The aircraft captain is able to communicate to the spectators by VHF radio. It's an amazing display of what our Coast Guard can do if an angler is in trouble on the water.
Today's demonstration by the Coast Guard was absolutely outstanding. I think more than ever now our kids need to really realize what our men and women in the service do for us. I think it's good to teach them the patriotism and to teach them what they do, because they're out there fighting for us every single day, and if it weren't for them, none of us would be out here fishing.
Kids and parents alike leave this event proud to be Americans, and our great sport of fishing is in very good hands. Next week on Intrepid Powerboats on the Water, we're traveling to the beautiful area of Cape Cod to expand sales opportunities for these large outboard powered boats in an area where pleasure boating is one of the most popular summer pastimes.